Alright, still going with these Q&A videos, going strong. I'm going to finish this thread, I promise. There was over like 60 some questions, and even if it takes me 10 videos, I'm going to do it. Ryan Ging, how did you deal with your relationship breakup? Whew, that's a good way to start off a video. The best I could. That's what it comes down to. There's going to be times in life where you're disappointed with the way that something turns out, and it's not what you want necessarily, but you have the option to move on with your life and accept that, or you have the option to sulk and the situation doesn't change at all. So I took the option to try to get better from it, and use the opportunity to better myself, to reignite my friendships, and put all of myself into the other things that I care about. That's the good thing about having multiple things in your life that you care about, is when something doesn't work out, you can put more of yourself into the other things. And I have no ill will towards my ex, and I wish her all the best. I do want to say that I'm thankful for the support group that I have, because it makes it a lot easier to get through tough times when you have other people around that you can rely on their friendship and them caring about you. So that's that. Dino Larson, I've been bulking for over a month. I believe my squat has went up, but my deadlift seems to have gone down. Any idea what is happening? I'm sleeping a lot, getting time out of the gym to recover. I pull off the floor. The pull off the floor is the hardest for me on deadlifts, I must say. I pull conventional. Dino, I don't know you, but sometimes when you over a month, I don't know how much weight you would have gained in a month to really affect it. It could come down to your training. It could come down to you're putting a lot more effort in your squat, and there might be a technical flaw in your deadlift that's being highlighted from a lack of leverage optimization that is happening because you've put on some weight. I can't really say unless I knew a little bit more about you. I would recommend, again, like I always would say, get a camera, videotape your stuff, see if you have any glaring form weaknesses, and usually it'll point out if you have any real big imbalances that are holding you back. So I would look into that, and maybe work your mobility again. Just work on that so that even when you're a little bit heavier, your leverages don't throw you off. I know some people who, when they gain weight, their squat goes up and their deadlift goes down because they get a bit of a gut and they can't reach down to the bar and get in a good start position. So I'll look into that. Aaron Lassen, head position during a deadlift. I've seen guys deadlift with their heads forward, with their heads back. I think generally tucking your chin and trying to jam your neck is going to end up leaving you with a bit more of upper back tightness, and that could be good, and that could be a positive thing in the deadlift, but it really just depends on the person. I've seen guys pull it both ways, and so I can't really, the optimal head position is going to depend on your personality, your build, not your personality. It's going to depend on your structure and how you set up and everything. Personally, my head is pretty neutral, and I don't try to break at the spine too much with it because I don't really see it going either way. But I've seen guys pull it both ways, and some of them are better than me, some of them aren't, and that's just how it goes. Miles Jules Stovold, then, what have been the main trends of your progression in terms of your gym efforts, recovery time, and frequency? Main trends. I will try something new, really like it, get hooked on it, and then use it, and until it starts to diminish its effectiveness, and then I will try to change up some bit of stimulus, and that generally will reactivate the progression. And when I say reactivate, I mean it will start it moving again, not it will all of a sudden I'll get all these huge PRs, because that doesn't happen to me anymore because I've been doing this for so long and I've gotten to this point where it's just you have to do so much to improve, really, and it just takes a lot of time. As far as recovery time and frequency, frequency is good for me. The more I do, the better I get. Recovery time, trend-wise, I used to take longer. No, I used to take less time in between. I used to work out 5 days a week. Now I only work out 4 days a week, and I really spend that time in between gym sessions recovering and working on my rolling out and working on stretching and doing all that stuff. I take my Theracane with me just about everywhere I go. It's in the car just in case I need to loosen something up. So that is how that goes. Jason Liu, what is your opinion the best powerlifting program for beginner intermediate lifters who work out in a commercial gym? No cool bands or chains, have to be sneaky chalking up. It's hard to say. Again, my stance on programming is it's never the program, it's always the lifter, and it's always the work you put in, how hard you put into what you're doing. For that situation, something that's simple like a 531 or a Shako. If you don't have fancy stuff to work with, you can't use fancy stuff. You need to keep it simple and stick to the basics, your bench press, your squat, your deadlift, some overhead work if you can. Both those programs are the best for it. Either start with the beginner Shako and work the lifts themselves, or start with a Wendler and 531 and focus on those lifts and do the accessories that you can. Anything where your progress can be measured and move forward from there at a beginning and intermediate level. I mean, you're doing something, and that's eventually going to amount to something bigger. Ryan Bachman. Ben, how can I direct my passion and positive energy outside the gym towards helping people? I feel inspired to be a better person, but don't really know how to contribute to society in a helping way. What are some of your hobbies, interests that you're passionate about outside of lifting? I would say a lot of that depends on your lifestyle, on the kinds of opportunities you have to interact with people. I will say the number one way that anyone can be a positive influence in the world is to treat every interaction you have on a daily basis with every single person as an opportunity to do something positive. And when you accept that as your lifestyle, when you accept that as the way that you deal with people, you will become a more effective ambassador of a positive world change. Because when you put that much effort into every single interaction you have, there's the positivity that you are then creating is infectious. And think about it this way. If someone comes up to you and you're having a bad day and they are just absolutely positive and cordial and nice and make an effort, if you can tell that every person that interacted with you was making an effort to make your day a little bit better, how great of a world would that be? How much better would you feel if everybody did that? And so if you want to be a change in the world, you have to enact that within yourself and start that. And so that's my answer for that. My hobby is some days I'm feeling really positive and I want everyone to just feel better. And so if I'm in the drive-thru, or if I'm buying coffee, or if I'm working at the gym, I will greet everyone, and my goal is to make their day just a little bit better. And you'd be amazed at the effect that can have on the relationships you have with other people, even if you don't know them, even if you're only going to see them once in your life. You can be a positive change for them. Sam Francis, this may be well up there with autoregulation. That's to say, how might you strategically moderate your workloads in times of being fatigued and stressed out from other areas of life? Thanks so much for all your work. Again, I am still constantly fighting to learn the discipline to auto-regulate downwards. I will, if I feel great, I always push it. If I don't feel great, I still want to push it. And it comes with time, as all good things do. If you're having a lot of stressful things and everything is just weighing down on you, try to remove the mindset from your workouts that you are in a battle-like situation, I guess, that you're going to work. Do it as a release. Do it. It's supposed to be fun. That's the reason we're supposed to do this, because if you're not going to get anything out of it really that's going to be worth your time or the amount of effort that it takes in your life. So just kind of go back to your roots of, why am I doing this? I'm doing this for fun. Change up your routine a little bit. Do something that maybe you haven't worked on enough and see an improvement in a different way. And just try to bring that good feeling back to lifting the way it should be. It shouldn't. If you go in every day and it just becomes an absolute chore to do, you might want to consider what you're doing, because it doesn't sound like you're in it for the right reasons. Robert Ferrari, that's a fun last name, Robert. You already did a lengthy deadlift tutorial, which helped. I was hoping you could do some of your bench setup and cues, which gets cut off in the videos. Also, I have a really hard time stabilizing the weight when low bar squatting. Was wondering if your uh, Y grip had any advantage over other people that prefer to. Okay, I'm going to come back to yours, Robert, because this is going to be a long answer, maybe, and I'm already over my 10-minute limit. So I'll come back to Robert's question in the next Q&A video. Look for it. Peace.